My name's Ethan James, and I'm 34 years old. For most of my life, I've been the guy who picks up the pieces when my little brother, Tyler, screws up. I paid his rent when he couldn't, bailed him out of debt more times than I can count, and even handed over my truck when he begged for it. But when he totaled it and tried to pin the blame on me, that was the last straw. My folks, Greg and Susan James, took his side like always, so I decided it was time to give them something they'd never forget. I'm done being the family's doormat. Tyler's 28 now, but you'd think he was still a teenager the way he acts. He's never held down a real job, bouncing from one gig to the next, always with some excuse about why it didn't work out. He's never saved a penny either, blowing every dollar on dumb stuff like video games or nights out with his buddies. Responsibility? That's a foreign word to him. And somehow, that's always ended up being my problem. Our parents decided a long time ago that Tyler's too sensitive to face the real world. Mom's always going on about how he's got a big heart and just needs time to find his way. Dad, on the other hand, acts like Tyler doesn't even exist half the time, too busy with his fishing trips to deal with the mess. So, growing up, it fell on me. Ethan, you're the older one, they'd say. You've got your head on straight. Help your brother out. He'll figure it out eventually. That eventually never came. Helping turned into a full-time job. I paid his rent when he got evicted from his first apartment after forgetting to pay for 3 months straight. I cleared out his credit card bills when he racked up thousands on stuff he didn't need, like a flat-screen television he had to have for his gaming setup. I even covered his phone bill once when he swore he'd pay me back. Spoiler, he didn't. Every time, I told myself, he's family. He'll grow up soon. But he never did. This last time, though, he pushed it too far. It started with a text, one of those offhand messages he sends like it's no big deal. Hey, bro, borrowed your truck for a quick road trip. You weren't using it, right? I read it twice, my blood pressure spiking. My truck, the one I'd busted my tail working construction to pay off, was gone. He didn't ask. He just took it. I called him right away, my hands shaking. What do you mean you borrowed my truck? I said, trying to keep my voice steady. Tyler just laughed, like I was overreacting. Chill, Ethan. It's just for a couple days. Me and the guys are hitting the lake. You're not even driving it this weekend. I gritted my teeth. You didn't ask me, Tyler. That's my truck. He sighed, all dramatic. You're making this a bigger deal than it is, man. I'll bring it back. Then he hung up. I should have called the cops right then. Should have gone to Mom and Dad and made them deal with it. But I knew how that'd go. Mom would say, oh, Ethan, it's just a truck. He's your brother. Dad would grunt and tell me to stop being so uptight. So I let it slide, figuring he'd bring it back in one piece. Biggest mistake I ever made. The call came at 3 in the morning. My phone buzzed me awake, and I saw Tyler's name on the screen. When I answered, he was freaking out. Ethan, man, I'm messed up. I crashed the truck. My stomach dropped. Are you okay? I asked, sitting up fast. Yeah, I'm fine, he said, voice shaky. But the truck, it's toast. I couldn't even process it. What happened? He stammered something about a slick road and losing control. Then came the kicker. You gotta come down here, bro. The cops are asking questions. Just tell him it's all good. He wanted me to lie for him. Again. I gripped the phone so hard I thought it'd crack. No, I said, flat out. I'm not doing it. Tyler went quiet, then exploded. Are you serious right now? I'm your brother. You're gonna leave me hanging like this. I didn't flinch. You took my truck, Tyler. You crashed it. This is on you. He started yelling. After all I've been through, you're pulling this? You're unbelievable, Ethan. I hung up before he could guilt me into changing my mind. That was it, the moment I knew I was done. But I had no idea how bad it was about to get. After I hung up on Tyler that night, I couldn't sleep. My truck was gone, totaled, and my little brother had the nerve to expect me to swoop in and save his sorry hide. I just sat there in the dark, staring at the wall, wondering how it always ended up like this. By morning, I figured the storm was coming, and I wasn't wrong. My phone started lighting up with texts from Mom and Dad, right on cue. They didn't even wait for the sun to come up proper. Mom's first message hit at 6 sharp. Ethan, what's wrong with you? Tyler said you abandoned him after the accident. Then Dad's, you need to get your act together and help your brother. This ain't how we raised you. I read them over coffee, feeling my gut twist. Abandoned him? The guy stole my truck, wrecked it, and wanted me to lie to the cops. But somehow, I was the jerk here. I didn't answer. What was there to say? They'd already picked their side, like always. Mom called next, and when I let it go to voicemail, she left one that made my jaw clench. Ethan James, your brother's in trouble. He could have been hurt bad, and you're just sitting there? He needs you. Call me back. Then Dad rolled in with his own call an hour later. I didn't pick up that one either, but his message was short and sour. Get over here. We're fixing this as a family. Fixing this. That's rich. They didn't mean fixing the truck or Tyler's mess. They meant fixing me, making me fall back in line. I ignored them all day, figuring they'd cool off. Big mistake. By late afternoon, there was a pounding on my front door. I opened it, and there was Dad, standing on my porch like some ticked-off drill sergeant, with Mom right behind him, arms crossed and eyes narrow. Get your boots on, Dad barked. We're heading down to the impound lot to sort this out. I leaned against the doorframe, not moving. Sort what out? I asked, keeping my voice flat. Mom jumped in, voice all high and sharp. Your brother's a wreck, Ethan. He's scared, and you're making it worse by being stubborn. I almost laughed. Scared? He didn't sound scared when he was screaming at me to lie for him. Dad's face went tight. He's family, Ethan. You don't turn your back on family. I crossed my arms, staring him down. Funny how that only matters when it's me doing the heavy lifting. Where were you when he took my truck without asking? Mom waved a hand like that didn't matter. Oh, come on, Ethan. It's just a vehicle. He needed to get away for a bit. You've got a good job. You can handle it. That's when it hit me. They weren't even pretending anymore. This wasn't about family. It was about me being the cash cow, the guy who cleans up the mess so they don't have to. He didn't borrow it, I said, slow and clear. He stole it, crashed it, and now he's lying about it. Dad scowled. You're blowing this out of proportion. He's not some criminal. I raised an eyebrow. He took something that's mine and wrecked it. What do you call that? Mom stepped closer, her voice dropping to that guilt-tripped tone she's so good at. Ethan, he's got no one else. You've always been the strong one. We're counting on you. I took a deep breath, feeling something snap inside. Counting on me to what? Pay for it? Lie for him? I'm not his dad. That's your job. Dad's eyes flashed. Watch your tone. Boy, you don't get to talk to us like that. I didn't back down. And you don't get to show up here acting like I owe you something. Tyler's your son. You deal with him. Mom's mouth dropped open, like I just cussed her out. Ethan, how can you say that? We're a family. I shook my head. A family doesn't dump everything on one guy and call it love. I'm done. Dad pointed a finger at me. You walk away from this, you're walking away from us. Think hard about that. I didn't blink. I already have. Then I stepped back and shut the door. Not slammed, just closed it, firm and final. I heard Mom gasp, heard Dad mutter something low and angry, but I didn't open it back up. I walked to my kitchen, grabbed a beer from the fridge, and sat down, letting the quiet sink in. For once, I wasn't running to fix their problems. It felt weird, but good. That peace didn't last long. 2 days later, I got a call not from Mom or Dad, but from the county sheriff's office. My heart sank as I picked up. This is Ethan James, I said, bracing myself. The deputy on the line didn't waste time. Mr. James, we need you to come down to the station. Your brother filed a report saying you stole his truck and left him stranded after a crash. I sat there, stunned, the phone pressed to my ear. Tyler didn't just cross a line, he blew it up. And I knew, right then, this was war. I'll assume you meant carry on with the second chapter or move on to the third chapter. Since I've already given you chapter 2, I'll take this as a go-ahead for chapter 3. Here it is, continuing Ethan's story in the same first-person, simple American guy style. No abbreviations, full details, over 3,000 characters, and ready for AI voiceover. Let's dive in. Chapter 3, The Sheriff's Station Showdown. When the deputy told me Tyler claimed I stole his truck, I couldn't believe it. My own brother, the guy I'd spent years bailing out, was trying to frame me. I sat there with the phone in my hand, my mind racing until the deputy's voice snapped me out of it. Mr. James, you still there? We need you to come in and give your side. I swallowed hard. Yeah, I'll be there. I hung up, grabbed my keys, and headed to the sheriff's station, my blood boiling the whole drive. I've lived in this town my whole life, small place, everybody knows everybody. The station's just a squat brick building off Main Street, nothing fancy. When I walked in, the lady at the desk gave me a nod like she'd seen this kind of family drama 100 times. Ethan James, hear about the truck report, I said. She pointed me to a back room, and a deputy met me there, a big guy named Harris, with a mustache that looked like it belonged in an old Western. Take a seat, Harris said, motioning to a metal chair across from a scratched-up table. I sat, feeling like I was in some bad cop show. He flipped open a notepad. All right, Ethan, let's hear it. Your brother says you took his truck, crashed it, and ditched him on Route 12. That true? I laughed, couldn't help it. No, sir. That truck's mine. I've got the title, the payment records, everything. Tyler took it without asking, wrecked it, and called me to cover for him. I said no. Harris scribbled something down, his face blank. You got proof it's yours? I pulled out my phone, opened my banking app, and showed him the loan payments I'd been making for 2 years. Then I dug into my email and found the digital copy of the title, my name, Ethan James, clear as day. Here, I said, sliding the phone over. Check it out. He took it, scrolled for a minute, then nodded. All right. What about him taking it? I swiped to my texts and found the one Tyler sent. Hey, bro, borrowed your truck for a quick road trip. You weren't using it, right? I handed it back. That's him admitting he took it. No permission. Nothing. Harris raised an eyebrow, reading it slow. Well, that's something, he muttered. He leaned back, crossing his arms. He's saying you threatened him after the crash, said you'd make him pay if you didn't keep quiet. I clenched my fists under the table. That's a lie. He called me at 3 a.m, begged me to come lie to you guys and say it was all fine. I told him no, he got mad, and that was it. Harris tapped his pen on the notepad. Your parents backed him up. Greg and Susan James signed a statement saying they saw you take the truck from their place while Tyler was asleep. That hit me like a punch to the chest. Mom and Dad didn't just pick his side, they were willing to lie to the law for him. They're full of it, I said, my voice shaking. I wasn't even at their house that day. I was home, working late. You can check my time card from the construction site if you want. Harris nodded. We might. You got anything else to add? I took a deep breath. Yeah, I want to file a report. Tyler stole my truck. I'm pressing charges. Harris paused, pen hovering over the page. You sure about that? This is your brother we're talking about. I looked him dead in the eye. I've never been more sure. He took my property, wrecked it, and now he's lying to get me in trouble. That's theft, plain and simple. Harris studied me for a second, then shrugged. All right, I'll get the paperwork started. Grand theft auto's no small thing, could mean jail time if it sticks. He left the room to grab the forms, and I sat there, staring at the wall. My hands were steady now, but my head was spinning. I wasn't just fighting Tyler, I was taking on Mom and Dad too. When Harris came back, he slid a form across the table. Fill this out. We'll pull the crash report and see what the evidence says. I nodded and started writing, every word feeling like a brick in a wall I was building between me and them. By the time I got home, my phone was blowing up again. Mom, Ethan, what are you doing? The sheriff called us. Dad, you're tearing this family apart, son. Stop this now. Then Tyler, short and nasty, you're a dead man, Ethan. I didn't reply. I just turned the phone off and cracked open a beer. They could scream all they wanted, I wasn't backing down. The next day, word spread fast. My buddy Jake from the construction crew called me up. Man, you hear what Tyler's saying? He's telling everyone you flipped out and tried to ruin him over some old truck. I snorted. Let him talk. Truth's coming out soon enough. Jake laughed. Dude, your family's wild. You good? I thought about it. Yeah, I am. For once. But Tyler wasn't done. That afternoon, I got a call from his boss at the auto parts store where he'd been working part-time. Mr. James, this is Rick from AutoZone. We're looking into Tyler's conduct after that crash. He listed you as a reference. Anything we should know? I grinned. Couldn't help it. Yeah, Rick. He stole my truck, crashed it, and lied to the cops about it. That the kind of guy you want working for you? Rick went quiet. Then, after I told Rick from AutoZone the truth about Tyler, I figured it wouldn't take long for the dominoes to start falling. I was right. The next morning, my phone started buzzing like a beehive. Tyler didn't even wait for me to have my coffee before he hit me with the first call. I let it ring, sipping my brew, watching his name flash on the screen. He called again 5 minutes later, then a third time. Finally, he left a voicemail. I played it, just to see how bad he was sweating. Ethan, you piece of trash, he yelled, voice cracking like he was about to cry. They fired me, man. AutoZone canned me because of what you said. You happy now? You ruined my life. He kept going, cussing me out, saying I'd pay for this. I deleted it halfway through. Ruined his life? He did that all by himself when he decided to steal my truck and lie about it. I didn't call him back, but he wasn't done. Around noon, he hit me with another call. This time, I picked up, figuring I'd let him dig his hole deeper. What do you want, Tyler? I said, keeping my tone flat. He was breathing heavy, like he'd just run a mile. You need to fix this, Ethan. Call Rick back. Tell him you lied. Tell him I'm good for the job. I laughed, couldn't hold it in. Fix it? You mean lie for you again? Nah, I'm done with that. He went quiet for a second, then his voice turned all desperate. Come on, man. I'm begging you. I've got no job, no money. My landlord's already on me about rent. You're my brother. You can't let me crash like this. I leaned back in my chair, staring out the window. You crashed my truck, Tyler. You tried to pin it on me with the cops. You don't get to play the brother card now. He started yelling again. You're so selfish. I didn't mean for it to go this far. Didn't mean it? I cut in, my voice sharp. You filed a fake report saying I stole from you. Mom and Dad signed off on it. What did you think was going to happen? He stammered. I panicked. All right? I didn't know what else to do. I shook my head, even though he couldn't see it. You could have owned up to it. But you didn't. Now you're out of a job, and that's on you. He tried one last time, voice going soft. Ethan, please. I've got nowhere to go. I took a slow breath. Not my problem anymore, Tyler. Figure it out. Then I hung up and blocked his number. I'd heard that song and danced too many times, him begging, me caving. Not this time. He'd made his bed, and I wasn't tucking him in. By evening, Mom and Dad showed up at my place. I saw their old Chevy pull into my driveway and knew what was coming. I opened the door before they could knock, standing there with my arms crossed. Mom's face was all pinched up, like she'd been crying. Dad just looked mad, his jaw tight. Ethan, Mom started, you've gone too far. Tyler lost his job today. He's a mess. I didn't budge. Good. Maybe he'll learn something. Dad stepped forward, pointing at me. You don't get to talk like that. He's your brother, and you're throwing him under the bus over a stupid truck. I stared him down. It's not about the truck, Dad. It's about him stealing it, wrecking it, and lying to the cops to save his own skin. You two backed him up on that lie. Where's my family loyalty in all this? Mom's eyes went wide. We were trying to protect him. He was scared. I nodded slow. Yeah, and you threw me to the wolves to do it. Signed a statement saying I stole my own truck. Real nice. Dad scowled. You're making this harder than it needs to be, Ethan. Just drop the charges, help him out. He's got nothing left. I tilted my head. Why's that my job? He's your son. You take him in, pay his rent. Mom's voice cracked. We can't afford that. You know we're on a fixed income. I shrugged. And I'm supposed to keep footing the bill because I've got a paycheck? That's not how this works. Dad's face turned red. You're being selfish, Ethan. Family steps up. I stepped closer, looking him in the eye. I stepped up for years. Where were you when he was draining me dry? You made him my problem, not yours. I'm done. Mom grabbed Dad's arm like she thought he'd swing at me. Ethan, if you don't help, he'll end up on the street. Is that what you want? I took a deep breath. What I want is for him to grow up. I'm not his lifeline anymore. Dad shook his head. You're no son of mine if you do this. I didn't flinch. Then I guess I'm out. I shut the door, locked it, and walked away. They stood out there for a minute, muttering, but they left. The next day, I got a text from Tyler's buddy, Matt. Dude, Tyler's crashing at my place. He's freaking out. Says you screwed him over. What's the deal? I typed back. He stole my truck, crashed it, and lied to the cops. That's the deal. Matt didn't reply after that. Guess he didn't want the whole story, just the part where I'm the bad guy. A couple days later, the sheriff's office called again. Mr. James, we've got an update, Deputy Harris said. Crash report matches your story. Tyler was driving. Plus, his text to you checks out. We're moving forward with your theft charge. I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. Thanks, Harris. What's next? He paused. He's looking at a felony if it sticks. You still want to push this? I didn't hesitate. Yeah, he needs to face it. Harris grunted. All right, we'll keep you posted. I hung up, feeling lighter than I had in years. Tyler was falling apart, but for once, I wasn't the one picking up the pieces. After the sheriff's call, I figured things would settle down a bit. Tyler was out of a job, the cops were on my side, and I'd made it clear to Mom and Dad I wasn't budging. But Tyler's never been one to go quiet. A couple days later, I was grilling some burgers on my back porch when I heard a car peel into my driveway. I didn't even have to look. I knew it was him. Sure enough, Tyler came stomping around the house, face red and eyes wild. Ethan, he shouted, marching right up to me. You think you're some big man now, huh? Ruining my life? I flipped a burger, not even turning around. You did that yourself, Tyler? I'm just eating dinner. He got closer, fist balled up. I've got nothing, man. No job, no place to stay. Matt kicked me out after you ran your mouth. This is on you. I set the spatula down and faced him. It's on you. You took my truck, wrecked it, and lied to the cops. I'm done cleaning up your messes. He laughed, but it was shaky, desperate. Oh, you're done? After all I've been through, you're just gonna cut me off? You're my brother. I stepped toward him, keeping my voice low. And you're mine. But that don't mean I owe you my life. You tried to frame me, Tyler. You think I just shrugged that off? He flinched, like he hadn't expected me to bring it up. I was scared, all right? I didn't know what else to do. You could have told the truth, I said. Instead, you dragged Mom and Dad into your lie. You made this a war. His eyes darted around, like he was looking for a way out. They're freaking out too, you know. Dad says you're dead to him. Mom's crying all the time. You happy with that? I shrugged. Not my call. They chose you over me. That's their mess now. Tyler's face twisted, and for a second, I thought he'd swing at me. But then he deflated, shoulders slumping. I don't know what to do, Ethan. I've got no one left. His voice cracked, and I saw something I hadn't in years, real fear. Not the fake stuff he'd pull to guilt me, but the kind that hits when you're truly alone. I almost felt bad. Almost. You've got yourself, I said. Start there. He stared at me, then shook his head. You're cold, man. I thought you'd at least give me a chance. I picked up the spatula again. I gave you 100 chances. You burned them all. Go figure it out, Tyler. He stood there a minute, like he was waiting for me to cave. When I didn't, he turned and walked off, kicking gravel as he went. I watched him climb into some beat-up sedan, probably borrowed, and peel out. That night, Mom called. I let it go to voicemail, but I listened later. Ethan, please, she said, voice all shaky. Tyler's sleeping in his car. He's got nothing. I know you're mad, but he's still your brother. Help him. Just this once. I deleted it. Just this once? That's what she said every time. I wasn't falling for it anymore. The next day, Jake from work swung by with a six-pack. Heard Tyler showed up here, he said, cracking a beer. Guy's losing it. Huh? I nodded, taking one. Yeah. Tried to guilt me into fixing everything. Didn't work. Jake grinned. Good for you, man. About time you stood up to that clown show. We sat there, drinking and talking, and for the first time in a while, I felt like I could breathe. But then the sheriff's office called again. Mr. James, it's Harris, the deputy said. Tyler's in custody. Caught him trying to sell some stolen tools from a construction site. Your theft charge is still pending, but this might complicate things. I sat up straight. He did what? Harris sighed. Yeah, looks like he's digging himself deeper. You still want to push the truck case? I thought about it. Tyler in a cell, facing real consequences. Yeah, I said. Let it play out. Harris grunted. All right. Court's next week. Be ready. I hung up, staring at the phone. Tyler wasn't just falling, he was crashing hard. And I wasn't sure how I felt about it yet. Court day came fast. I showed up at the county courthouse, a little brick building with too many windows, wearing my best flannel and jeans. Tyler was already there, slouched in an orange jumpsuit, looking like he hadn't slept in days. Mom and Dad sat behind him, glaring at me as I walked in. I took a seat on the other side, keeping my eyes forward. The air was thick, like everyone knew this was the end of something. The judge, an older guy with a gray buzz cut, called the case. Ethan James versus Tyler James, Grand Theft Auto, he read off, voice gravelly. My lawyer, a buddy from high school who'd gone to law school, stood up and laid it out. The truck title in my name, the text from Tyler admitting he took it, the crash report showing he was driving. Mr. James never gave permission, my lawyer said. This was theft, plain and simple. Tyler's public defender tried to spin it. Your Honor, this is a family dispute. Tyler borrowed the vehicle with an understanding he'd return it. No intent to steal. The judge raised an eyebrow. Borrowed? I've got a text here saying he took it without asking. And the crash? The false report to the police. The defender fumbled. He panicked. Sir. He's young, made a mistake. I almost laughed. Young? He's 28. Then the judge looked at me. Mr. James, you're pressing this charge. Why? I stood up, hands in my pockets. Because he's been taking from me my whole life, sir. I've paid his bills, covered his mistakes, and this time he didn't just take my truck, he tried to ruin me with a lie. I'm done letting it slide. The judge nodded, like he got it, and sat back. Tyler got to speak next. He stood, voice shaky. Ethan's making me out to be some criminal. I'm not. I messed up, yeah, but he's my brother. He's supposed to help me, not drag me here. He looked at me, eyes pleading, but I didn't budge. The judge rubbed his chin. Family or not, the law's the law. Evidence says you took the truck, crashed it, and filed a false report. That's theft and perjury. The stolen tools came up too, a separate charge, but it painted a picture. The judge didn't waste time. Tyler James, I'm sentencing you to 6 months in county jail for the theft, plus a year's probation. The tools case is pending, but this don't look good for you. Tyler's head dropped, and Mom let out a sob. Dad just stared at the floor. After, they cornered me outside. Mom grabbed my arm. Ethan, how could you? He's going to jail. I pulled away. He chose that, Mom. Not me. Dad stepped up, voice low. You're no son of ours. We're done with you. I nodded. Fine by me. Been done with you too. I walked off, leaving them standing there, and didn't look back. That night, I sat on my porch, beer in hand, staring at the stars. Tyler was locked up, Mom and Dad were gone, and I was alone. It should have felt good, but there was this hollow spot in my chest I couldn't shake. 2 months later, I packed up my life and moved. Got a new job running a crew at a construction site 2 states over, better pay, fresh start. I rented a little house with a porch bigger than the last one, and for the first time, I wasn't checking my phone for guilt trips from Mom or begging calls from Tyler. They'd gone silent after the courtroom, and I didn't reach out either. It was over. I heard through Jake that Tyler got out after 4 months, good behavior or something. He moved back in with Mom and Dad, but they're struggling to keep him straight. He's still bouncing around, no job, no plan. Part of me wonders if he'll ever figure it out, but I don't dwell on it. That's not my fight anymore. One night, I was grilling steaks when there was a knock. I opened the door, and it was Jake, holding a case of beer. Thought I'd check out the new digs, he said, grinning. We sat out back, eating and talking, and he asked, You miss him at all? I thought about it. Sometimes, but not enough to go back. He nodded. You did what you had to, man. They'll see it one day. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't care either way. I've got my life now, work I like, a place that's mine, and nobody leaning on me to fix their problems. Some nights, I still think about Tyler, wondering if he's okay. But then I remember all the years I gave up for him, and I let it go. He's got his road, and I've got mine. Last week, I posted about it online, told the whole story, start to finish. People went nuts. Some said I was a hero for standing up. Others called me heartless for cutting them off. I get both sides, but here's my take. Family's supposed to lift you up, not drag you down. I gave Tyler everything I had, and he threw it back in my face. Walking away wasn't easy, but it was right. And now, I'm free.